We begin with trouble in the tropics. Hurricane Florence quickly intensifies into a major Category 4 storm, but only time will tell where this monster is headed. That is our top story this Wednesday night. Good evening, everyone. I'm David Allen.
And I'm Regina Mobley. We're tracking the Atlantic's first major hurricane of the 2018 season. The
National Hurricane Center just released its 11 o'clock advisory, so let's get started with Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lawson.
Yeah, and this storm literally in the middle of nowhere. I mentioned earlier it was roughly equidistant between 3 continents. Well, between North America and Africa, it's literally exactly in the middle, 1,500 and some miles to the outer edge. South America, only 1,200. So it is literally almost as centered as you can get between those 3 major continents. As you can see, zooming in, the storm has begun to change a little. Starts out very concentric, a perfect, almost bagel-shaped or donut-shaped with a hole in the middle. And now, as we get even in closer, the storm system is starting to change. Hurricane Florence, interesting, the 11 o'clock advisory is now in the process of printing out, so I'm not sure why this doesn't show it, but the storm system has begun to weaken a little bit. It's down to, I think it was 110 knots, which is approximately 125 miles per hour. Still the same path, though, so this path is updated. I'm not sure why the actual advisory itself is not, but this is the new path, which has shifted slightly to the south and has the chance, at least, of making a run at the East Coast. The various computer models are literally all over the place, and that's the individual models. Then we can look at just one model and run it a number of different times. This red line here is the American model, keeps it just barely offshore of Hampton Roads. Then it's run 50 some other times, and they take the average, and you get that blue line way offshore. Same thing happens with the European model. Run it once, and it comes up near Hampton Roads. Run it 30 or 51 in this case times, and it's spread out all over the place with an average well offshore. So we're going to have to wait and see, because after about 5 days from now, this would be 8 or 9 days away from us. Almost anything could happen depending on where the highs and the lows set up. We'll know a lot more probably in about 2 or 3 days. It's going to take at least that long. I'll have more information, though. Look back at some historical storms coming up.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Let's take another look at Florence. The National Hurricane Center will release new information at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Jeff has a full breakdown posted on 13newsnow.com and our free app. Just tap the weather tile and scroll to the Hurricane Center.
What's left of Gordon is still dumping lots of rain on the south. Take a look at this brand new video from Pensacola. The Florida Panhandle got the worst of it. 10 inches of rain fell there.
High drama today in the 2nd congressional district race. A judge in Richmond bounced independent candidate Sean Brown from the ballot this fall.
The judge determined there were dozens of forged signatures on petitions floated by Congressman Scott Taylor's staff to get Brown on the ballot in what some say was a political stunt. 13 News Now reporter Megan Puryear looks at the politics of what's next.
David, Regina, the lawsuit over those forged signatures was brought on by the Democratic Party against the State Board of Elections. Now, while Sean Brown was gone, but for now, political analysts say that what happened today leaves a lot of unanswered questions about the race going forward.
13 News Now political analyst Quentin Kidd says this is big.
It's a pretty significant event for a judge to then go back and say, you know, there was out and out fraud involved here, and to take her name off the ballot.
Today in Richmond, a circuit court judge found dozens of instances of forgery on petitions collected by campaign staffers for Congressman Scott Taylor. One of those signatures was Elizabeth Cake's late husband, Stuart.
He's looking down going, thank you. Now we got it right.
What was seen as an attempt by the local GOP to dilute the Democratic vote and tilt the race toward Taylor possibly could backfire, Kidd says.
If Scott Taylor loses this election, it'll be a loss of his own making. The question is is the wound serious enough to cause him to lose or not? And we'll know that on Election Day.
Despite the judge's ruling to bounce Sean Brown from the ballot this November, the independent candidate says she'll continue to fight to stay in the race.
So, you know, I'm asking for your vote. We got one more hurdle. We got to go to the Virginia Supreme Court.
Today, Democratic candidate Elaine Luria, who has steered clear of the fight, offered a harsh rebuke of her Republican opponent. From the time this fraud became public knowledge, Congressman Scott Taylor has dodged responsibility for the criminal actions of his paid staff. He has blamed the National Democrats. Today, Taylor called the Democrats' lawsuit pure politics, adding in part, "Our campaign will continue to cooperate with the investigation and make no further comment while it is ongoing." And while a special prosecutor will now look into whether any laws were broken by those who collected the signatures and verified their authenticity, that will not be known until after the election. Still, Kidd says what happened today may not be lost on all voters.
But the judge did give a pretty strong indication that some crimes have been committed.
At least 5 of Taylor's staffers pled the Fifth today in court, and the special police investigator was also there for the trial. Live in the studio, I'm Megan Purrier, 13 News Now.
Now, this controversy started on June 9th. Dates on the petition to get Brown on the ballot revealed that is when several of the questionable signatures were collected by Taylor staffers. Then, 2 months later, questions over the signatures surfaced. The same month, a special prosecutor launched an investigation. That's also when the Democratic Party in Virginia stepped in, asking the Attorney General to remove Brown from the ballot. The Dems also took their concerns to court, asking a judge to invalidate all of Brown's petitions. And that brings us to today, when a judge ruled to take Brown off the ballot.
New tonight, ODU men's head basketball coach Jeff Jones facing a battle off the court. Jones revealing he's being treated for prostate cancer for a second time. 13 News Now reporter Chanu Her is live at the TED tonight with the announcement that shocked so many people today. Chanu.
Yeah, David, like you mentioned, that announcement came today, and Coach Jones says despite this diagnosis, he's still staying committed to the team, staying committed to his job, and especially the people around him. Just 3 years ago, he was diagnosed and treated for prostate cancer. ODU men's basketball coach Jeff Jones announced the recurrence of the disease. He learned of the relapse during the summer of 2017. In a statement, Coach Jones said, "There's no way I'm going to allow it to change my approach, my commitment to his players. You're going to get my very, very best every day." Another team that stands behind the longtime coach,
Coach Jeff Jones, is a very special person with the American Cancer Society,
is Dr. Bruce Waldholtz and the American Cancer Society.
What Jeff has done for the American Cancer Society and continues to do, and his wife Danielle, we really cannot say enough great things about Jeff Jones.
Dr. Waldholtz remembers last year when Coach Jones gave an emotional and passionate speech to the American Cancer Society's Lobby Day in Washington, D.C., which he'll do again this month.
Our coach came with us all day on Capitol Hill and walked the hills, walked the halls of Congress.
It's that kind of determination to fight cancer and to people around him that makes Dr. Waldholtz believe Coach Jones will come out on top again.
Coach Jones has the heart of a giant. The passion that he has for life, for teaching his basketball players and young men and women and making a difference in their lives and the lives of the families of the players that he coaches. So we just really wish the best for Coach Jones.
Now, Coach Jones plans to address the media himself and take any questions about this diagnosis tomorrow here on campus at 3 o'clock, and 13 News Now plans to be there. Live in Norfolk, Chanu Her, 13 News Now.
All right, thanks, Chanu. Well, prostate cancer, let's take a look at it, is the second most common cancer in American men. 1 in 9 men will get the diagnosis at some point in their lives. That's according to the American Cancer Society. Most at risk are African American men and men older than 65. As serious as it is, most men beat prostate cancer.